Creating an analogous background on watercolor paper. Using a piece of watercolor paper, we're going to choose two colors on the color wheel that are next to each other. These are called analogous colors because they're very similar. So you can choose any two colors, again, that are close to each other on the color wheel. When you start, you want to pick one color marker that is lighter than the second one. Since I'm going to use yellow and orange, yellow is lighter, so I'm going to start by filling in my paper with yellow. You'll notice that I'm going to color things in very quickly because I'm going to add water later on, which will help my colors to spread out. Do your best to fill in your entire paper, but it's okay if you don't press as hard as you normally would. When your background's filled in, go ahead and put the lid back on your marker and put it back in the box. And choose the second color from your analogous color scheme next to that first color on the color wheel and start adding that on top of your first color. Again, you don't need to fill in the entire space. You just want to work to add some of that color on top. No need to press very hard because when you add water, that will help those colors mix together. When you get finished coloring in with that second color, go ahead and pop that lid back on the marker, put it back in the box, and put your markers back in your art kit. Now you're ready for the next step. When your background's filled in, you'll want to get a small cup of water and an absorbent material like a sponge or a paper towel or tissue. If you're using a paper towel or tissue, you'll want to wad it up so that you have one end to hold on and one end to absorb the water. You need just a little bit of water. Dab it in the water cup and then gently press it up and down on your paper. You'll want to make sure that you dab up and down across your entire paper, dipping your absorbent material back in the water as needed to make sure that all of your paper gets a little bit of moisture. No need to add too much water. If you add too much water, that'll make your paper too wet and the colors will run off the sides and it will curl up. So make sure you add just a little bit of water, dabbing up and down instead of sliding, filling in your entire paper with a little bit of water. Once you're finished dabbing up and down with water, find a space to store your artwork so that it can dry for the next step tomorrow. Dump out your water and throw away your absorbent material or rinse it out to use again if it's something like a sponge. Once this is complete, you'll be ready for step 2 tomorrow, which will be adding oil pastel patterns.